What's going on, guys? Well, we're putting in a little bit of work on the 636, trying to mitigate some of those funky shifting issues that we've been having with this quick shifter. Now, we've mitigated them, but we didn't make them all go away. So what's going on here? Well, what that is that is an FT ECU retrofit kit for the 636. I believe they also make it for the ZX4. Anyway, what that is it's a kit that replaces the spring-actuated plunger type of quick shifter sensor with a load cell. Now, what does that do? Well, it makes your shift shaft a solid shift shaft as opposed to having this spring-loaded thing in there. And the way that this thing works is in the barrel of the sensor, you've got a pretty strong spring, and as you are shifting, this shaft will be depressed. It'll compress the spring. The sensor will pick up that you're making a shift, and as the ignition is killed, the idea is that the spring will then allow that shift to pop in, and it'll pop it into gear. Well, the problem with that is that it's not a very direct feel. It feels pretty disconnected, and, well, there's another issue. Check this out. So what I noticed with the Kawasaki was just how long the shift throw was. And for this bike with this gearbox, a long shift throw really isn't doing you any favors. It means you really have to commit to the shift or else, well, this will happen. Okay, guys, so keep an eye on that gear where it says in. Say you're going through the gears and you go to grab a gear and it goes blank. Okay, what happens is that the gear position sensor can't figure out where you are in the whole grand scheme of shifting, and that means your quick shifter will stop working. You may have to grab the clutch to grab the gear, or you may have to get out of the throttle. It can just be a bit of a headache, and it's just a quirk of Kawasaki's. But a lot of that is because you have to totally commit to the shift and really hammer on this thing, because if you don't, even the gear position sensor won't pick up on what you're doing. So anyway, none of that is good. It's all kind of awkward. So to fix that, again, we went with the FT ECU retrofit kit. I've also got a Racetorx shift shaft stabilizer. One of the reasons for that is right behind this cover is where your gear position sensor is located, and any movement, any little wonky movement of that shaft can also throw off that sensor. So the idea is to try to stabilize the entire assembly, get rid of that spring-loaded sensor, put a solid sensor in there, just a normal load sensor, and I gotta tell you guys, it's made a really big difference. But that, along with dropping down the shifter about 9 or 10 millimeters, has helped a ton. So it's kind of strange. Again, so much throw with this shifter lever. Check this out. You know, it's funny, we're using the same type of sensor on the GSX-R 1000, but I mean, this thing has got hardly any shifter travel compared to the Kawasaki. It's nuts. But anyway, in this case, that sensor works beautifully. In the Kawasaki, not so much. And again, it's all, well, part of it is going to just how far you've got to move your foot to get to work. So by dropping the shifter down, now when it engages, it's in a more natural position for your foot. I mean, you got to have some ankle dexterity to make this thing work. But anyway, guys, I want to bring y'all along for the ride. I love riding this 636. Keep showing you guys this setup. I absolutely adore the bike, but nothing is perfect, and so it just kind of is what it is. One of the other things I wanted to show is I made sure that this junction here is at a 90 degree. From the factory, this is kicked out a little bit, which is another thing that's not helping the situation. Just bringing this back into more of a 90 degree orientation will actually help to clean up the shifting just a little bit. I did notice that, but I didn't stop there. I decided I was going to go full kit on this. It ain't exactly cheap, but I got to tell you, it's helped out a ton. Oh, and here's the other thing. Remember when I was showing you guys that thing with the, losing connectivity with the sensor and all that? Here's the other thing. One benefit to having this solid shaft is that if you do kind of flub a shift a little bit, you can kind of feel it, and I can predict now when it's not going to act right. I know that sounds like weird. I get it. But with that spring-actuated sensor, you could not do it. But now if I don't really commit fully to a shift, and I really don't use the quick shifter unless I'm above 7,000 RPM anyway, but if I find myself being a little bit slow on the shift, you can kind of feel it in the system, and it's almost predictable now when it's going to fail. As long as you commit to the shifts, though, the bike seems to be pretty well dialed in. And it's only when I don't fully commit to the shifts that I find that I'm having an issue now. So did it solve it completely? No. There's some inherent things about the gearbox on the Kawasaki that you just can't do away with these types of remedies. But you'll clean it up so much. The shift feel is amazing now with this bike. Whether you're using the quick shifter or not, it's far and away improved. So it's worth it just for that. But yeah, in terms of improving the quick shifter, way better now, much more direct feeling. I wholeheartedly recommend this modification. Again, these two components, they're not cheap, but I feel like they're well worth it. And for my 636, man, that's the last thing I wanted to have to do to mess with this bike. Now it's set up the way that I like it. It's time to get the next one into the garage. What will the next project be? Gonna have to wait, but, well, video will drop tomorrow, and I'm pretty excited about it. So with that, the 636 is a wrap. Love this bike. Absolutely just get giddy every time I get a chance to ride it. And now with the quick shifter working so much better, the setting with the shifter lever being dropped so it's a bit more natural. Man, I got to tell you, it's a great bike. Can't wait to ride it again. And after about 100 miles of messing with it, it feels like it's pretty well dialed in now. But anyway, hopefully that helps you guys out. And got any questions, post them up in the comments below. Y'all take it easy. Oh, and if you made it this far, consider smashing that subscribe button. Guys, it helps out the channel a ton. All right, now I'm out of here. Take care.